I'm
Lauren Daisy.
You might know me from such videos as the Ultimate Gossip Girl video, or any number of my Pretty Little Liars videos. I kind of stay in my lane of teen drama based content, but today we're doing a little pivot to what I'm calling horror for the girly pops, aka a girly pops guide to horror, because I love me a horror film. I do. It's also spooky season, and so I thought, let's get into it, because sometimes horror can feel a little male dominated, shall we say, or that it kind of tends to be associated with more like edgy fashion and more, things like that. And I'm here to tell you that that does not have to be the truth. Okay, horror can be for the girly pops, and I'm gonna prove it today. So if you're thinking to yourself, it's spooky season, I want to get in on this fun, because horror movies are a lot of fun. Okay, you don't have to be scared of them, they can be so much fun. So we've got a few different subjects that we're going to be covering today. I'm going to break down the categories for you, and who knows, maybe after this you'll be like, I actually love me a bit of horror, because I do. I don't love horror in the more like film buff, I want to be scared, I don't really love horror in that kind of way. Like, I'm a girly that hates roller coasters. Like, I'm not in it for the adrenaline rush. I'm in it for the fun. I'm in it for the camp. I'm in it for the hot people. So that's what we're going to do today. And I'm going to go through. I'm going to show you different categories of horror movies that might pique your interest. And at the end, I'm also going to show you some things that aren't horror, but they are fun for spooky time and a bit of Halloween watching. So we're going to have something for everybody today, because I was like, I want this to be a comprehensive guide. I have recruited a favorite YouTuber of mine from the channel Mad Blood. His name is Matt, and he has filmed a section that I will play, which is actually him recommending horror films that he believes are genuinely good. I asked him to do ones with specifically female leads, because that's what we're doing today. And so he's given me his, I think, top 5 favorite horror films with female leads, and that is coming from somebody that genuinely loves horror and watches basically every horror movie that comes out. So he can tell you what the actual good horror movies are, whereas I'm gonna give you more so bad that it's good, more this is iconic, more this is good for a sleepover. Like, that's what I'm going to be giving you today. I feel like I love the Divas Championship version of horror movies. That's like the genre of horror movie I like, is one that would win the Divas Championship. I would also love a moment of commotion for my Halloween nails. Super cute, super fun. They're like the Halloween, but also a tiny bit Pretty Little Liars theme, because my PLL book comes out this month. Oh, you can't see, but there is an A on this nail. Then we have like little blood splatter ones, super cute. These ones, to me, they really give like Dexter. And then these are like cat eye ones, super cute. Little blood drips. And then, oh yeah, you can see the A a little bit there. So yeah. They're too cute. I will let you hazard a guess as to what my favorite horror film franchise is. I don't know if you'll be able to guess. Maybe it'll be a little bit hard. I've not really left any kind of clues in this video. I'm not really going to show that much bias, but if you want to like hazard a guess at what my favorite horror franchise is, horror movie, horror character, then you can have a go in the comments if you feel like you have an idea. Anyway, today the categories that we are going to be going with are serving cutting edge, which I I listen. It is like ingrained in me since I was a child. My mother ingrained in me, you simply do not say that word. And I know that it's trendy now. Just saying it. And everybody says it. I even literally saw a video of Glenn Close, like, saying it today. But I physically cannot do it. I cannot do it. So instead, I use the term cutting edge. So these are films that serve cutting edge. They are just, to me, quintessentially iconic female leads, great fashion, incredible one-liners. The vibes, everything is just, it's on point. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was truly made for the girlies, I believe. Then we're going to have the classics. So these are horror films that are deemed classic and are genuinely deemed good, that I also enjoy, being someone that isn't as fast about genuine good horror, you know? But we're going to go through the classics, and I'm going to tell you which ones I still find to be fun and enjoyable in that same vein. Then we're going to go and keep it within the family, within the teen drama family, and we're going to go through horror films that star teen drama icons, such as our girlies from PLL, our girlies from Gossip Girl, and, you know, so on and so forth. Then we're going to have a little section on horror TV shows that I really enjoyed, and again, I think fit the vibe here. And lastly, we are also going to, like I said, go through things that are fun, not necessarily horror, but still a good time if you really are like, I don't want to be scared, I don't want to see a lot of blood. More lighthearted things. You'll see when I get there. I'll go through the options and you can decide what you like. And like I said, we'll also have Matt from Mad Blood giving his, in his professional horror enthusiast expert opinion, what his favourite 5 horror films with female main characters are. Can you tell I haven't scripted this video at all? Fabulous. So let's get into it. So first up, for serving cutting edge, we have what I genuinely believe to be the mother of all horror films, and it is Jennifer's Body. Jennifer's Body is everything to me. Actually, I have dressed as Jennifer Check for Halloween 3 times, I think now. 3 separate occasions I've dressed as Jennifer Check for Halloween, and I still want to do the cheerleader one, so my Jennifer Check costume roundup is not yet complete, but I'm like 3 out of 4, so I need to get on that. Jennifer's Body is... how do I even begin to describe a cinematic masterpiece? Jennifer's Body is like, it has everything you could ever want from a film, actually. Obviously it has Megan Fox, gorgeous, stunning, beautiful, incredible. She's so good in this movie. Then you have Amanda Seyfried, love that bitch. Like, the fact that she did this, and then a year later, oh no, she did this a year after, I think, Mamma Mia. How do you do that? Like, how do you go banger after banger? Because yes, Mamma Mia is my favourite film of all time, and Jennifer's Body is probably my top 10 favourite films of all time. So actually, how did she do that? Because that was crazy. That was a serious hit after hit. I want a sequel to Jennifer's Body so freaking bad, and I just don't think we'll ever get one, but it is everything. The high school vibes, the outfits that Jennifer wears, so many good quotable one-liners in this movie. It is just so good. It's such a fun time. Like, if you want one to watch with your girlfriends where you're like, yes, this is a little bit cringe, they say some ridiculous things, but it's still so good. It's so much fun. You know, just a bowl of popcorn, sit down, watch this movie. It is just everything. It's just everything. It really is. And I am so glad that it's had such a, like, cultural renaissance, because when it first came out, it was absolutely, like, panned and slated, and now it is truly a girly pop certified classic. Also, I just want to say, I'm not going to be giving any spoilers for these films. I know obviously most of them are very old, but I'm just going to be giving you kind of the light premise so that you can then go and watch them or do like a marathon of the ones that you think are interesting. I'm not going to tell you who the killer is or, you know, what the big reveals are or anything like that. You don't have to worry about that. Next up, we have one that I think is actually incredibly underrated and very hated because it is linked to what some people, you know, really believe is a 10 out of 10 movie. Absolute classic. And it is in its own right. Obviously, we're talking about American Psycho. American Psycho that truly was a moment. And I do love that movie. I think it's great. We're not talking about her today. No. Today we're talking about the lesser known American Psycho 2. And I had never seen this film until a year ago or 2 years ago, I think. I saw it on Amazon Prime and I was like, I had no idea they made a sequel to American Psycho. And they did. And the main character in it is Mila Kunis. And she is so stunning, so gorgeous. She gives such season 1 Aaron Montgomery vibes in this movie. And it's actually a lot of fun. It is so much fun. I love the aesthetic of it. I think Mila Kunis is so good in this movie. And I think it is so good. Like, I genuinely love this movie. And it immediately became like, I'm going to rewatch this movie. This is one of my new faves. And I think it just got really hated because obviously it was a sequel to American Psycho. I think if it had been completely separate and had a different name, I think it would probably be almost, you know, approaching like Jennifer's Body level. I think people would love it, but I think people just don't know about it as much because it is a sequel. But it's really good. I love this movie so deeply. I don't know if it's a nostalgic thing, but I have such a love for this movie. I think it's because it was not the first horror movie I ever saw. We're going to get to that. But I went through a huge phase. You know what? I'm probably still in it now. But when I was, you know, around like sixth form age, so like, you know, maybe a little bit before that, more like 15, 16, I was watching every horror movie I could get my hands on, basically, that were in this kind of vein. And so Netflix was like the gold mine for 1 star or, you know, so bad it's good or so bad it's not good, but I still love it, horror movies. And I'm talking about Prom Night. And we're talking about the 2008, I think it is, version of Prom Night. And this is fun. It's a little spoiler because this is actually technically also a teen drama icon one because we have Jessica Stroup from 90210, Silva. She is in this movie. Brittany Snow is the lead. I love Brittany Snow. I adore that woman so much, and she was also in an episode of Gossip Girl. She played young Lee Vanderwoodson, so, you know, double whammy there. This movie is so fun. I feel like you're just gonna hear me say the same things over and over again, but I just love it. I am such a sucker for like a teen slasher. It's just always going to be a good time, and it's obviously set at prom, which is such a fun environment and setting for a slasher movie, and it's in this like big, you know, hotel. Also, I think Idris Elba is in this movie. I'm pretty sure he plays the cop, and every time I watch it I'm always like, what are you doing here, Idris Elba? Even though I've seen this movie like 10 times. It's like your kind of typical slasher whodunit chaser, and so good, so good. Love like obviously it's, you know, 2008 prom, so it's the dresses and the hair and the makeup, and so good. Then we have Valentine, and you might be thinking to yourself, oh, like My Bloody Valentine, is that what the movie's called? Is a classic. No, like, I mean, it's not a classic, but I feel like it's pretty talked about. No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about Valentine, okay? And this movie eats, okay? This was another one that I found on Netflix that I'd never heard of before, and I am a sucker for a special episode of a TV show, right? Christmas episodes, Halloween episodes, Valentine's episodes. I was gonna say Easter. What teen drama's ever done an Easter episode? Anyway, I love that. I eat that shit up. So a horror movie that is set on a holiday, you've won me. You've actually won me over. We've got like Denise Richards. Oh my god, this is like 2001 Denise Richards, iconic, gorgeous. We also have Katherine Heigl and Jessica Chapman, which is a fun little Grey's crossover from before Grey's was even a thing, I think. And so that is so good. Again, it is more of your classic, slasher, but it's set on Valentine's Day, and I think the mask is really cool, and I think the concept's really fun. I would actually love to see a more modern reboot of this. I think that would be a really fun remake to have Valentine, and who could you have in it? Like maybe like Madeline Klein or Madison Bailey or Storm Reed, or I think like Ariana Greenblatt. Like there are so many actresses I think could be so iconic in a movie like this, in this kind of like ensemble cast. So somebody needs to get on that. Somebody needs to get on that right now, actually. Then in a similar vein to Valentine, which I guess is kind of like, it's a more like up-to-date version-ish, is Heart Eyes. So this only came out this year. And again, just so fun. So much fun. It's again set on Valentine's Day, and the killer is obviously Valentine's themed, but this is about a couple. Well, no, not a couple. I think they're going on their first date, or it's just a guy and I'm trying to remember now. I've only seen it the once. But yeah, Olivia Holt is great in this movie, and it also has like Chad from Scream. Like I thought they were a really fun duo. So yeah, it's a different kind of concept than Valentine, but you're always going to get me with a holiday themed horror movie, especially Valentine's Day. I think Valentine's Day does not have enough horror movies based around it, because it's just such a fun concept. Like a day that is literally all about love and, happiness and joy, and somebody's on a murder spree. Yes. And then last for this section is Urban Legend. And Urban Legend is another one that I feel like isn't as popular or talked about as things like I Know What You Did Last Summer or Scream, but it kind of came out in a similar time. And it's not as popular, but people that have seen it, I feel like do really like it. It has more of like a kind of like smaller cult following. And again, I just think this one is super fun. I feel like it gets lumped in with that, everyone was trying to make Scream, and that's when we got, Bride of Chucky, and I know What You Did Last Summer, and, kind of things like that. But I think that kind of does this movie a disservice. The sequels, no, don't bother with the sequels. But the original Urban Legend is a lot of fun. Again, high school vibes. All of these not all of these are high school movies, but I can't help it. I love it. And then, I literally forgot this one, Totally Killer. And again, so much fun. It's easy going. It's easy horror to watch. It's great for when you're hanging out with the girlypops, or if you're just like, I just want to throw on a horror film and not have to be that invested in it, and, some kind of convoluted story. This category is basically just, this is a good time. You will have fun. You will love all the actresses that are in it, and you will want to wear their clothes. That's pretty much the gist of this category. Okay, now we're moving on to the classics. And these are ones that you will probably have heard of before. My aim with this one is to be like, even though these ones are older, or you're like, oh, everyone always talks about these ones, are they worth watching? These are the ones that I'm like, no, they actually are. Or out of all the sequels in these franchises, this is the one that you should watch, basically. So we have to talk about Child's Play. Okay, because Chucky is actually everything to me. I've dressed as Chucky for Halloween twice now. I was him last year or the year before. So much fun. I would dress as him every Halloween. I would dress as him every day. Like, I love him. I love him hardcore. Chucky was actually the first horror film that I ever watched. Child's Play, the original one. And I was obsessed. Like, you ask anyone, like, that's my man's. That's my man's for real. So, yeah, that was kind of my introduction to horror. Loved it. So much fun. And then so I watched like all of the Child's Play movies because I just really loved Chucky. And then kind of through watching those, I became more interested in other horror movies and went to other franchises and you know, kind of broadened my horizons a little bit. But I will always come back to Chucky. It is the perfect balance. I think we start to lose our way a little bit as, you know, as the films go on. But I think the first one is great. It's so well done. The suspense is really good. The scares are really good. Another thing that I really love about the early Chucky movies, and also to be fair, pretty much every horror movie from more of like the 80s, 90s, early 2000s-ish, is the practical effects. I love it. You know, not to be that, but I hate CGI. I hate it. I think, you know, there's some things where it can be done to be really cool, but I just watch so many movies these days and I'm like, that would have looked so insane if it was a practical effect, if you'd use real blood, if you'd, you know. And that's what's so fun about the older movies, is that they had to do that. And it looks so, so good for it. And Chucky's a great example of that, because obviously he's running around. They had an animatronic for him and that like moved, and there was like a guy that was controlling it. If you ever watch like a behind the scenes of a movie, watch the behind the scenes of Chucky. It's so good. It's so interesting. And yeah, you kind of get a couple funny one-liners in this movie, and get to see that humor a little bit. Obviously, Brad Dourif as Chucky, the voice of Chucky, to me is probably the most iconic voice laugh of all time. I absolutely love it. I don't think he's ever won an award for being Chucky, but he absolutely should. And then we go into Child's Play 2. Child's Play 2 is actually my personal favourite. So I feel like out of all the sequels, the ones I would recommend to fit in with like this kind of vibe that we're going for, I would say Child's Play 2, and I would say Bride of Chucky. Bride of Chucky is so fun. I need to come up with a different word. I actually need to come up with a different word. Take a shot every time I say fun. We'll start with Child's Play 2. I'm getting ahead of myself. Child's Play 2 is great. It's... Oh, wow. How do I even describe it? I love this movie so much. I literally have this movie on the back of a jacket. This is my jacket, if I can find a picture of it, or I'll just go downstairs and take a picture of it. This is the jacket I wear pretty much every single day of my life. I've taken it to, like, everywhere. It's been to America with me. It's been, you know, to Spain with me. It's been everywhere. I wear it all the time. I love it. It's, like, probably in my top 5, top 3 most prized possessions. And I don't know what it is, to be fair. I feel like a lot of people, their favourite is usually either the original Child's Play or Child's Play 2. We kind of don't talk about Child's Play 3 or Seed of Chucky. But anyway, that's, you know, for another day. We're only talking about... I love them all, personally. I do love all the Chucky movies, even Child's Play 3, even Seed of Chucky. But I understand why some people, you know, think that was a low point for the series. Anyway, Child's Play 2 is great. I think what makes it, you know, really fun for this kind of category and this kind of video is Kyle. Kyle is such a great character. I loved her. I think, firstly, she's so stylish, but also the bond that she has with Andy, I really love. I also love how Chucky is in this movie. I think this movie, out of all of them, really captured the perfect balance between scary and horror and that side of things, and it being still like more of a slasher movie ish. Would you call it slasher movie? I don't know. The kills and everything, but also the humor and the funny side of Chucky's character, because that to me is what I love about him, is how sarcastic and that dry humor that he has. And I think Child's Play 2 is the perfect balance of both of those. In terms of Bride of Chucky, obviously Tiffany. Like, Tiffany gives such girly pop points to this movie. This is the first time that we meet her. She is obviously Bride of Chucky. The soundtrack for this movie also eats so hard. Living Dead Girl by Rob Zombie is still, to this day, one of my all-time favorite songs. Impeccable, so good. You also have Katherine Heigl in this movie, again, before she was on Grey's, and she's great in this movie. So you have the kind of like human couple, which gives you more of your kind of like teen element of this film, because in the first original 3 we obviously follow Andy and he's a kid, and even then in the third movie it's him at like military school, so you don't really get that like high school slasher feel, but you do sort of get that in Bride of Chucky, with, you know, the human couple that they've kind of taken hostage. This is also, you know, a new look for Chucky with all of the stitching and everything, which is really fun. And yeah, there's a lot of pop culture references. There's nods to other horror movies. There's, you know, talk about Martha Stewart, and all kinds of stuff. And it's a really good time. It's a really good time. It's really fun. So out of all the Child's Play movies, even though I love them all, I would say Child's Play 2 and Bride of Chucky are the best for this list. And then we have Scream. I think, honestly, all of the Scream movies are, you know, worthy of this kind of category of sleepover movie, you know, fun, date night movies, all that kind of stuff. They, again, are very high school slasher. They really are. I would say Scream is like the poster child for the kind of movies that we're talking about today. And I mean, everyone knows Scream. It's very referential of other horror films and poking fun at other horror films and horror tropes, and just completely took the genre, turned it on its head, and was just revolutionary for horror. So for me, Scream is always a must. You have Drew Barrymore. I mean, her as Casey Becker, that's one of the most iconic characters in the past 50 years. I don't even care. And oh my god, Skeet Ulrich as Billy, Matthew Lillard as Stu, Sydney, oh my gosh, Neve Campbell as Sydney, and then you also have Rose. Oh my god, I love it. Tatum, I love you. And then obviously you have Monica Geller. Like, come on. There is just so much to love about these movies. They are just everything to me. But out of all of them, I would say obviously the first one, like the first 3 are very well made, very good horror films. The first 2 specifically, I also, you know, I think out of all of them, my favorite probably is the first one. But the second one is also really, really good. But for this list specifically, for the kind of more cheesy, maybe not as highly regarded horror films, my pick is actually Scream 4. Scream 4 is very glossy, it's very bright, it's very that kind of more, 2010s horror. You really feel that kind of vibe. But I love this because we have a little cameo from Lucy Hale, who you guys know, that's Mother, like, I love her. Also Shanae Grimes from 90210, and, you know, obviously Lucy Hale from Pretty Little Lies. Shanae Grimes from 90210, Kristen Bell, who was Veronica Mars, but also the voice of Gossip Girl. So there's so much fun to be had here. Britt Robertson, love her. Hayden Panettiere, Emma Roberts, like, that is, again, iconic Scream queen of our time. Love her. And you still have, you know, the originals. You have Sydney and Gail and all that as well. And I just think it's a lot of fun. I feel like it's kind of more of a return to Scream 1 in the high school sense, because you're back with high school students, whereas obviously in 2 they were in college, and in 3, I don't even know. No, in 3 it's like later, they're in like their 20s or something. So this is kind of a return to that kind of thing. And it's objectively hilarious, and I think an overhated sequel because I think it's probably the lowest rated sequel in the Scream franchise. And I just think that's not deserved. I really think that's not deserved. Then we have Nightmare on Elm Street, and I was debating whether to include this one because I feel like it is truly more of like the classics, and I love it. Obviously, Freddy Krueger, love, horror icon, and Robert Englund as Freddy Krueger, icon of the highest order. I think him and Brad Dourif, for me, like, that's horror actors. Like, that is it. It just embodied the character. Anyway, doesn't matter. Going off on a tangent. But does it really fit our girly pops vibe? I think not so much. The only one I'm kind of going to give arguments to is Wes Craven's New Nightmare. I just think that's such a fun concept because it's kind of outside of the actual franchise, and I don't think it's like canon to anything. It's like it's a separate timeline. So Freddy's a little bit different. He's more scary. The whole concept is the idea of, I just realized I didn't even explain the concepts of Scream or Child's Play or Nightmare on Elm Street. I just assumed you all knew what they were. But Chucky is obviously about a possessed doll that comes to life, and serial killer takes over and goes after this little kid. Scream is Ghostface, and it's a slasher whodunit. And then Nightmare on Elm Street is Freddy Krueger, who like scares people and is able to kill people and speak to them like in their dreams. So he comes to you when you're sleeping. That's the premise. But in Wes Craven's New Nightmare, it's focused around the actress who actually plays Nancy, and so it's her, like she's playing herself. And it kind of explores how then Freddy like comes into the real world. Like, it's really good. It's really well done. I think it's really good. The classics, you have to talk about Jason. So Friday the 13th. For me, my personal favorites in the franchise are Jason Lives, because I am obsessed with Tommy in this movie. I think he's so good, and I love his relationship with, oh my god, I can't remember her name now, the cute blondie in it. I think that's so much fun. I love their dynamic. It's so 80s, and I do love it. I love it a lot. I love this version of Jason. I think he's probably my favorite version that we get. So I really like that one. I also think New Blood follows in that same kind of vein of having that like fun camp in terms of camp, but also in terms of actual summer camp vibes. And you also get like telekinesis in New Blood, which I thought was a fun twist, to be honest. I think Tina's really cool. And then the last one I was going to mention was the remake. So there was a Friday the 13th remake that came out in 2009, I think. And it kind of covers the first 3 movies or just the first 2? I'm not sure. But it's a very different approach to Jason than you see in like the classic ones. And it's got a lot of fun actors in it. It's got Jared Padalecki and, oh my gosh, my fave, my absolute queen. She played Juliet, Kate Cassidy. Love her. Love her. And so, oh wait, no, she's not in this. She's in the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. Yeah, she's in the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. I don't recommend the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. I don't mind it, but I'm not going to put it as an official recommendation on this list. But Friday the 13th remake, that's fun. That's a great time. Next up, we have Saw. I would say that Saw is definitely, if you want to go more true horror gore, I love Saw. It's one of my absolute favorite franchises. The way that they connect all of the sequels is so clever. It's so well done. The reveals are so good. The twists, the turns of this franchise are unmatched. 10 out of 10. The original, I love. I think my favorite is probably 2 or 3. But there's like almost 10 of them now, like 9. All of them are good movies, in my opinion. The only ones I'm not as keen on are Spiral and Jigsaw. But the actual like Saw movies, so good. So good. I would say it's like we're straying a little from the girly pop vibes here, because it is just more like true horror and gore. But there's still some like funny one-liners. I just love the way that it's written and the way that the twists and the callbacks and the timelines and just everything about it. It's so good. Like, you are just invested in it as a story. Aside from it being a horror film, it's just so cleverly written that I just love it for that as well. Then we have Halloween. I couldn't not include Halloween because that is another, that's part of the big ones. Like, I feel like the big three is like Jason, Michael Myers, and Freddy Krueger, obviously. So I had to shout out Michael Myers. I think for me it would have to be Halloween 1 and 2 that would go on the recommended for this list. Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie Strode, obviously an icon, like one of the original Scream queens, and the movie's a lot of fun. It's not very gory. It's not very... Because obviously it is from the 80s, like it's from a time. So it's a slasher technically, but it's not super gory. There's not loads of blood. There's not, it's just more tense, and the music is so good. And because it is set at Halloween, like, I think it might be our only one that's actually set on Halloween. Like I said, I love a holiday themed horror. It really is like cozy, like, which is so funny to call a horror movie cozy, but it feels like that. Like, you get the jack-o'-lantern in the opening, and everyone's trick-or-treating, and I just love it. I think it is so perfect, obviously, for Halloween time. Then we have Carrie. Like, Carrie is... She's like one of the first true women of horror, I feel like. You had usually the female characters were always the victims, and like, she is in the movie, but she's also the antagonist of the movie. And in the same way, like, I just think that story is so complex, and I just love it, and I think her as a character is so interesting. I also have, read the book, have the book, love the book. There's a lot of different versions of Carrie. I think you can kind of pick and choose. I would say the one from the 80s is probably my favorite, because I feel like it's the iconic one. Like, it's the one that everyone thinks of when they think of Carrie. The one with Chloe Grace Moretz is, I feel like people really didn't like that. I personally did, I think, because it is more in this kind of like vein of movies that I clearly like. So I actually quite liked her portrayal of Carrie, but I know a lot of other people didn't. And then we have When a Stranger Calls, the remake. And it's kind of like similar to like The Last House on the Left, I think it's called. That remake, I feel like, is like blasphemous because these are iconic horror movies. Like, the originals are iconic horror movies. But for me, I fucking love a remake. I love a 2000s remake. For me, 2000s horror is everything to me. Like, it actually is everything for me. 2000 to 2010, give it to me. Give it to me tenfold. And yeah, I think When a Stranger Calls is so good. It's like, to be fair, is it more of a thriller probably than a horror? Probably yes. But like, the call is coming from inside the house. Like, that reveal eats every time. I'm sorry, but it actually does. I also really love Obsessed. I didn't put this on the list, but Obsessed, I think it's called, with Idris Elba. It's Idris Elba again, but it's Beyonce. So random. But this is a really good movie. Like, it's more of a thriller suspense kind of thing than a horror, but so good. Then we have kind of the last of our more like retros in the 90s, but I Know What You Did Last Summer. I Know What You Did Last Summer. Oh, I love it. I know that, some people were like, oh, this is just a Scream knockoff. Like, it's not. It's so good. I love Jennifer Love Hewitt in this movie. I adore Sarah Michelle Gellar. Sarah Michelle Gellar, the woman that you are. In this, in Scream 2, in Scooby-Doo, in Buffy. That woman's everything. And the fact that, like, her and Freddie Prinze Jr. are together in real life. Oh, don't even get me started. And then also, I think it's Ryan, is it? Who plays, like, the fourth guy. There's, like, 4 of them. And he plays Sarah Michelle Gellar's boyfriend. He's also really great. I think the acting is really good. Freddie Prinze Jr. not so much. Sorry, King. Loved you in Friends, though, as the male nanny. Yeah, I think it's fun. I think The whodunit nature of it is fun. I think that I can't even remember what they call the fisherman, like with the hook, such a fun concept for a horror slasher. And the costume's fun, the vibe, the hook as the weapon is really fun. I think I Know What You Did Last Summer is a great shout. And I really like I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. They literally go to the Bahamas. Brandy's great in this movie. This one's really funny. I feel like it's still, you know, a horror. It also has Rufus from Gossip Girl. Rufus is in I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. And it's really fun. I might even prefer it to the first one, to be honest with you. I really, really liked it. There is also I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer, which does have Tori DeVito in it. Mother, Melissa Hastings from Pretty Little Liars, but this movie is terrible. And as you know, as you will see from like the ones that I like and the kind of movies that I'm talking about, I love a terrible movie. If there is a terrible movie and it's got a cute girly pop in it and it's set in high school, I will still like it. I will still like it, even if it's bad, even if everyone says it's terrible. Even I didn't like this movie. I love Tori DeVito in it because she plays like a kind of goth, like punk girl. The outfits she wears are amazing. But as an actual movie, this film is terrible. So I'm only recommending the first two. The remake, people really did not like the remake. People really, really hated it. I really liked it. I actually loved it. Sorry. I actually thought it was really, really good. Like, not in terms of, oh, this is a great movie, obviously. But I love it in the way that I love horror movies, which is I'm looking for camp. I'm looking for, like, Madeline Klein in this movie. That was enough. That was enough to sell this movie to me, personally. So, yeah. I would recommend the first one, the second one, and the remake. You don't have to worry about I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer. And then last in terms of the classics, which I feel like is kind of crazy to maybe include in the classics because a lot of these movies are way older, but I have The Conjuring. Ladies, if you haven't seen The Conjuring, I'm actually about to change your life because Patrick Wilson as Ed Warren.
Ladies, I'm trying to do my work today. Leave me alone type shift.
Shake your dress!
Ladies, come on. You know, you see me doing my work type shift.
I actually don't even need to say anymore. And the relationship, obviously it's not real. Well, it is real, like Ed and Lorraine Warren were real people, but it's nothing like their real marriage. But Ed and Lorraine Warren in these movies is everything to me. Like the Conjuring films are actually romance movies. They actually are. And it's so good. It's about like possession. Oh wait, I literally just realized again, I didn't tell you what any of these movies are about. Saw is like a guy that basically puts people in traps and gives them the chance to try and save their own life in order to value their life. And it's very gory. It's lots of like body horror and yeah, putting people into horrible traps. Halloween is Michael Myers. I don't even think they call him that in the movie. They call him like the Shape. But anyway, in the first one, and he basically just comes back to his hometown to stalk and kill people. Then Carrie is about a girl with telekinesis. And yeah, she basically is like bullied and it kind of culminates at prom. Then When a Stranger Calls, I feel like it's like about babysitter and, you know, thriller and all that. And then I Know What You Did Last Summer is the 4 teens and they accidentally kill a guy. And then it's basically about somebody coming back to avenge that person's death and being like, I know what you did last summer. So yeah. I'm just saying all these names as if you know them. It's supposed to be a guide to horror, and I'm like, oh, but you already know this movie, it's fine. Then, yeah, so back to The Conjuring. The Conjuring is, it's a whole franchise. There's actually 4 Conjuring movies, like The Conjuring and then the subtitle, but you also have The Nun. Those 2 movies are included, and all the Annabelle movies are also part of this same franchise. So Ed and Lorraine, they kind of show up in a few of these ones. Me personally, I would recommend The Conjuring movies 1, 2, 3, and 4. Love. I think the second one's probably my favorite, but you know, British in it. And they're based on real cases that Ed and Lorraine Warren, who are paranormal investigators, like, and Lorraine's a psychic, that they actually investigated in real life. So that's a lot of fun. They're just so good in this movie. Like, Patrick and Vera, like, that is one of the most iconic movie couples of all time. I love them. And the movies are also really good. They're scary. The jump scares are great. I think out of all of them, the jump scares and everything are best in the classic, in the original, but I just love the others because I just love their characters and stuff. I also really love the Annabelle movies. I think the Annabelle movies are great. The Nun is definitely my least favorite, but that's because it's a lot of religious horror and more like it's very old. Like, it's set, you know, in like the 18 or like the early 1900s, so it's just not really for me. But The Conjuring and Annabelle, that's very much for me. Basically, all of these movies are set in the 70s, which is everything to me. The 70s is everything to me. My house, my color palette, everything in my life is basically 70s themed. So I love these movies. I adore them. I think they're great. Okay, while we're still talking about the classics, well, we're not. We're finished talking about the classics now. We're moving on to teen drama icons, but I thought this would be the perfect place to pop in Matt from Mad Blood's clip, because he's going to talk about movies that you genuinely should see, that are genuinely very good, rather than my 1-star fun to watch girly pop ones. So yeah, it was so much fun. This is like the first collab I've actually done on my channel, like, kind of. So I emailed him and he very kindly sent me over a video of him talking about his top 5 female-led horror movies. And also, bear with, because I did, bless his heart, I asked him to do this video last year, and then I just did not have enough time to get it done. I was way too busy. And so this clip is a year old. So if you're like, why didn't he mention this film from this year? It's because the clip is a year old. But he still said I can include it. So yeah, I absolutely love his channel. Go over and subscribe to him. And yeah. Here you go.
Hey, what's up, everyone? My name is Matt. First of all, thanks, Lauren, for having me on. Second of all, thanks for just giving me an excuse to talk about my favorite horror movies. So this list could be like 100 movies long. There is so many great horror movies with female leads, but, you know, we'll talk about 5 of them. But like I said, there's so many great ones. That's probably part of the reason why horror is so damn good, is because there's so many really, really good female leads. But anyways, the first movie that I want to talk about is actually going to be X from 2022. And specifically Mia Goth playing both Maxine and Pearl in this movie, which is kind of crazy. Just the aspect of her playing the 2 main characters in the story, the parallels between those 2 characters with aging, with one being so young and wanted with that X factor, everything going on with that. And then also the older character. So this movie is a slasher on the surface. Yeah, it's bloody. So if that's not really your kind of thing, it's got some nudity in it as well, so you have been warned. But this movie has so many deep themes to it as well. Just like the themes, like I said, about aging, not really being wanted anymore, not really fitting into society, kind of just getting cast off, regardless of how you looked when you were younger. Definitely some parallels here with maybe like The Substance, a movie that came out recently, but to me, what's also great about X is we have some of the best villains, in my opinion, that we've seen in years in a horror movie. Of course, it came out in 2022, so it's a recent movie, but great villains you would never expect. Also, I just think Mia Goth's backstory in this movie is great. Like, and it plays very well into her character and how she acts and how she kind of moves and navigates the story in this, because she comes from kind of a toxic background. Like, her dad was this very powerful preacher. And like I said earlier, this movie gets bloody, but it's going to have some great twists and turns along the way. And it's definitely one of my favorite slasher movies, especially that has came out in years. And Mia Goth is incredible in X. Highly recommend seeing X if you haven't seen it. All right, coming up next is going to be, what are you waiting for, huh? And it's going to be I Know What You Did Last Summer from 1997. And specifically, yeah, of course, we'll talk about Jennifer Love Hewitt, the final girl, Julie James in the movie. And I mean, What millennial guy did not have a crush on Jennifer Love Hewitt? Come on now. I mean, she's not only one of those final girls that, doesn't just survive in the movie, which is something we do see in the genre, definitely, but she's a character who is a badass. She actively tries to solve what's happening and figure out just what's going on and everything like that. I mean, also just in this movie, the music's great. It's got the late 90s vibes to it. It's not that 90s Scream style cat and mouse moments, the tension, very similar to Scream. One of the best movies that's kind of a ripoff of Scream. Of course, this is a Kevin Williamson movie, also the guy who wrote Scream as well. Also a great villain, this fisherman that fits into this like coastal town setting, which is great. This guy wearing a slicker outfit with a hook. It's just a lot of fun, and Julie is definitely one of those characters in the story that, although, some of her friends seem like decent people, she, especially when you compare her to some of the worst friends who are just like terrible people, but even with Freddie Prinze Jr.'s character, she's one of the people in the story who's really somebody who you can clearly see is a good person. And it's just a lot of fun. Great movie. I'm really excited for you should definitely check it out too if you haven't seen it, because there's going to be a sequel coming out in the summer of 2025, which is great. So excited about that. But yeah, no, we did last summer. Just a damn good 90s slasher with a lot of fun moments. I highly recommend it. All right, coming up next is going to be Halloween H2O from 1998. Of course, starring Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie Strode, or also her name in this movie is Carrie Tate. Because her character, if you're not familiar with the story, she's kind of disappeared. She's now working in this like small California school. She's one of the head people at the school. It's tucked away. It's isolated. This movie doesn't get enough credit, in my opinion, for the isolation of the movie, but it's just a lot of fun. This, in my opinion, is probably the best Laurie Strode in the entire Halloween franchise. Jamie Lee Curtis was just at that kind of perfect age for her character. She was right around like late 30s, 40-ish, where she's like, has some wisdom, but also is young enough. She can hold her own against Michael. But there's some moments in this movie that just give me goosebumps. One of the best endings in the entire Halloween franchise, without question. And also, if you're not into blood, maybe X is not really your thing, it's not a super bloody movie. Very similar to Scream. It's not like overly gory or over the top or anything like that. But yeah, another Scream-inspired slasher movie. Kind of a teen slasher in a lot of ways. I definitely think some of you who haven't seen it, who are fans of Lauren's channel, will really enjoy Halloween H2O. But yeah, a lot of fun. Highly recommend it. All right, and up next is going to be one of the greatest sci-fi movies of all time, which is going to be Alien from 1979. I'm sure a lot of you have seen it. I'm sure there's a lot of you that haven't seen it. Yeah, the movie's old. Yes, some things in the movie are has that kind of old feel to it, right? Especially with the technology and stuff like that. But if you want to see one of the most badass final girls in all of horror, Alien is without a doubt a great movie for that. Aliens is also great. Of course, it has the same character, which is Sigourney Weaver playing Ripley. But I think in Alien especially, she's just so good, because in Aliens, she's great as well, of course, an all-time classic. But in Aliens, she kind of takes a little bit of a backseat at times to some of the Marines and stuff, because she doesn't really want to be there. They kind of forced her hand a little bit to be there to help them out, just to figure out everything that's going on in that movie. But whereas in this movie, she's really taking control. But yeah, I mean, it's Alien, one of the greatest sci-fi movies ever made. Like I said, great horror moments. It's creepy. It's eerie. Everything's so cool, especially it's got that late 70s aesthetic, which is awesome. But yeah, I mean, Ripley will always be one of the greatest female leads, I think, in movie history just in general, not just in sci-fi history. It's just great. I mean, it's Ripley. Come on now. But yeah, Alien from 1979. Okay, and the last movie that I want to talk about, we cannot talk about great female leads in all-time great movies without talking about Neve Campbell as Sidney Prescott in the original Scream, especially. And why I say the original Scream especially, she's great in all of the movies. She's really, really great in Scream 2 as well. But in the original Scream, you get this aspect of her character where, yes, in Scream 2, she's kind of 2 steps ahead of Ghostface because she's been through it before, and that part of her. And like I said, that character in Scream 2 is great as well. But in the original Scream, you get to see a character who isn't yet tainted by, everything that happened. She's not yet as traumatized, so she's got that innocence to her as well, but also shows those glimpses of being able to think on her feet and just be like a very likable character, you know, that girl next door, and just a great character in the genre. But yeah, I mean, it's Sidney Prescott. She's kicking Ghostface's ass in the movie. She's given us great lines towards the end, like not in my movie. But yeah, Scream, one of the most important horror movies ever. The horror genre was in a weird place in the 90s, and Scream just completely revitalized and changed horror forever. Not everybody loves the Scream influence on horror. You know, a lot of people don't think it's scary, but a lot of people do. It's kind of like that crazy killer next door that could be in your high school that's, you know, not somebody you would expect to be doing these terrible things. But yeah, the original Scream from 1996, just an all-time classic horror movie with one of the greatest final girl female leads in all of horror, without question. But again, yeah, thanks Lauren for having me on the channel. Honored to be on the channel and talk some horror with you guys. Always fun to do that. But go and watch these movies. If you want to watch some of the most badass women in all of horror history, yeah, you gotta watch these movies. But anyways, again, my name is Matt. Thanks so much for watching me and listen to me ramble for a little bit about my favorite horror movies. But yeah, my channel's name is Mad Blood if you want to come over there and check it out sometime. I talk about a lot of horror stuff, but it's not all just creepy, scary, like gritty stuff. I also talk about a lot of like teen horror stuff, even some Goosebumps. But anyways, everybody, yeah, thanks again, Lauren, for having me on. Appreciate it.
I also wanted to shout out to another horror creator that I really love. It's Possessed by Horror. Sarah. There aren't as many female creators that talk about horror, so I wanted to give her a shout out as well because I absolutely love her videos. Okay, so now we're getting into teen drama icons, and this is probably where we're going to find the quote-unquote worst movies of this bunch, but I still love them. So, first up, we're going with Mother, the mother of all mothers, Miss Lucy Hale. I love her. I adore her. She's everything to me. So she has been in 2 horror movies. We have Truth or Dare is probably her most famous one. And this is about a group of friends that get caught in a game of Truth or Dare. And the dares, like, you can't do your dare. If you don't do your dare or answer your truth, you die. And I love this movie. Is it well made? No, not really. In terms of a horror, I think it got absolutely slated by people that really love horror movies. But I love Lucy Hale, and I think this movie is so much fun. You also have, not Dylan O'Brien, the other one, Tyler Posey from Teen Wolf is in this. I really liked their chemistry, and I think it's genuinely creepy. I think the smiles and everything, the whole like Truth or Dare thing, I actually think it's really creepy. I think the scares are good. I think the jump scares are good. I think this movie's overhated, honestly. And Lucy slays, as she always does. And then her second one is, I feel like, lesser known, and it's Fantasy Island. And this is about, I don't want to like spoil it really, but it's basically these friends fly to this island and they get to live out their like fantasies or like things that they really wanted, but it kind of comes not in the way you would want it to. Does that make any sense? Not really. To be fair, I'd probably say this is more of a thriller than a horror. I think Truth or Dare is more like straight horror. This is probably Fantasy Island is more thriller. But again, I loved Lucy in this. I thought she was really, really good. Then moving on, we have a more recent addition. So The Strangers is a movie from the 2000s. And, you know, the original has quite a cult following. I'm sorry, I haven't actually seen the original. Shoot me. I feel like this is a running theme with this, where I haven't seen the original, but I've seen the dodgy 2000s remake. And I loved it. So, oh my gosh, I don't even know why I didn't include this, but I should have put Happy Death Day in Serving Cutting Edge. Happy Death Day is 100% Serving Cutting Edge. And that's about a girl that is killed on her birthday, and then every time she's killed, she wakes up and is able to try and stop it. And that is so much fun. That is so camp. That is really, really funny. And there's 2 of those as well. So yeah, add that to this list. I just realised I didn't even write down teen drama icons. I'm too caught up in it. Okay, so as I was saying, you had The Strangers, the original one, and then they decided to do a remake. It was very, very poorly received. They announced when they were doing it that it would be a trilogy. Like right off the bat, they were like, this is going to be a trilogy. And people did not like it. They did not like it. Me, what do you think? I did like it. I haven't seen the second one yet because it's still in cinemas, I think. I'm pretty sure it's still in cinemas at the minute. And I haven't had the chance to go and see it yet, but I'm sure I will also like it, even though everyone is saying it's even worse than the first one. And you know why? Because it's got Madeleine Pesh in it. I feel like it tells you something about me and my taste in things when I tell you that I loved Riverdale. I loved, why did I say love past tense? I love Riverdale. I love Riverdale. Like, to my core, I love Riverdale. I love it unironically. I think it's incredible. And so, naturally, Madeleine Pesh, that's my bitch, okay? I literally just watched her in Maintenance Required, and she was iconic. She's so gorgeous. She's everything. Her hair is everything. And I think she's great in this movie. I think she's an incredible actress. Oh my God. Madeleine Pesh, Lily Reinhart, Camila Mendes, also Vanessa Morgan, but I feel like they're like the core three. Incredible actresses. So good. And they've done a few movies. I want to do a whole video about Riverdale, like rom-coms and the actresses and actors and like the rom-coms they've been in and kind of like going through them. Anyway, that's a video for another day. But Madeleine Pesh, gorgeous. I hope I'm saying her name right. She's also vegan, fellow vegan, love that. Mother. She's everything. I think more than anything that I love with these movies is the vibe of them. Like the actual press tour, the press release, she looked so incredible at all the red carpets and all the events that she did. And I just love her. I adore her. And so I love her in these movies. I don't care. I'm going to see the second one and I'm going to go and see the third one as well. Love her. Love you, Madeleine. Next we have almost like its own genre of film, which is very badly made, low budget possession movies. And we've actually got two to talk about. Let's get into it. So the first one is Possession of Hannah Grace, and this is a movie that Shay Mitchell did. I think it was was it during PLL or just after PLL had ended? I can't remember. And she played like a doctor, I think. And basically this body comes into the morgue and is possessed, and it's a whole thing. It's basically just her, this entire movie, pretty much. The cast is literally just her and Hannah Grace. And it's a good time. Easygoing horror, just jump scares, basically. Just cheap jump scares, get the blood flowing, get the heart pumping. Now. Now we're going to talk about what, I'm being so genuine right now. It's like a teen drama multiverse of madness. There's so many teen drama actors in this movie, but it is also basically regarded as the worst horror movie of all time. Or one of the worst horror movies of all time. Probably, definitely the worst possession movie of all time. And that is The Haunting of Molly Hartley. This is one of those movies where you could do like a bingo sheet or something, or a drinking game, and you could sit down with your friends and watch this movie, make fun of it, and just have the absolute best time of your life. You would have such a laugh. It has Chase Crawford in it, so Nate Archibald. It also has, I think Jessica Stroup is in this one as well. Oh no, Jessica Lowndes from 90210. And also Annalyn McCord. Also, in case you couldn't see it that well from back here, this is a Chucky X Hello Kitty bucket hat. How freaking cute. I have a few of these little guys. I have this one, and I also have the Bride of Chucky one. And then I also got this when I was at Universal. Obsessed. So cute. And then I also have the Monster High Bride of Chucky collab as well, in addition to who me and my fiance we call him Big Chucks. This is Big Chucks, love him. He's also probably in my top 10 prized possessions, maybe. Absolutely love him. Also got this from Universal, which was so cute. I literally wanted to buy genuinely the entire Chucky section at Universal. I also have this, which I got from Typo. So freaking cute. I also have like clothes with Chucky on as well, but I couldn't find any for this video. So instead you got John Cena, which I hope is okay. John Cena needs to do a horror film, by the way. Somebody needs to get on that and cast him in a horror film. Side note, but there actually is a WWE horror film. It's called See No Evil, and it stars Kane, and it's actually really scary. It's actually pretty good for like a horror film. I actually quite like it. So yeah, there's that. But I need John to do a horror film, actually. I need him to do one. Even if like it was like a comedy horror, like that would be so funny. Like almost like Scary Movie, but not full parody. Like there's still horror elements. Maybe more like a Happy Death Day kind of thing, where he's like being chased by a killer, or he is I don't know if him being the killer would be funny. But also imagine the hilarity of like this huge muscly guy being like chased by a ghost face. Somebody needs to contact me about that. Anyway, The Haunting of Molly Hartley is basically considered the worst possession film of all time. I think it has like a 1.9 out of 10 on IMDb or something. It might even have less. It's very, very low Rotten Tomato. Basically, everybody who has seen this movie has not liked this movie, but that makes me like it because it's actually horrific. But there's still enjoyment to be had there. And I think, yeah, like I said, if you and your friends watch this movie purely knowing that you were just going to have a laugh and have a good time, lock in. And also there's so many hot people in this movie. Like, that's just fun in itself. And then we have one that I actually believe is good. Like, to me, this is a good movie, and it's The Stepfather, and it has Penn Badgley in it. And he did this while Gossip Girl was still airing. And we love Penn Badgley, okay? We love Penn Badgley, and he's great in this movie. This movie is so much fun. It's about, like... I didn't even tell you what The Strangers was about. The Strangers is about... like a couple in a wood cabin, and then these creepy people start trying to kill them, basically. That's that. Yeah, what's The Stepfather about? It's basically about this guy, and he thinks his stepfather is evil. Which doesn't, I feel like I'm not selling it to you. I'm not selling it to you well, but it's really, really good. I feel like I would say, yeah, it's more of a thriller than a horror, but I also can't really explain it to you without spoiling it, so just know that it's good, and I recommend it, and Penn Badgley is obviously good in it, because he's great in everything that he's in. And then we have Alone at Night and Rata. These are both Ashley Benson horror movies. I need to watch Alone at Night. I haven't seen it yet. Rata, I actually really liked. It's really fun. It's like a kind of almost like cyber horror about someone that is watching her, like, through her camera, and I really like this movie. I think it's like, yeah, again, definitely more on the thriller side of things. But I think it's a lot of fun. And then we have The Martyrs. This is another one I haven't seen, but I had to include it because it's like the only horror film that Troy Massaro has ever done. Again, Pretty Little Liars. I think The Martyrs is a remake of like an 80s film of the same name, but I'm not entirely sure. I also don't really know what it's about. But Troyan is, to me, such an underrated actress. I think she's genuinely incredible. So I have no doubt that she's incredible in this movie. I just haven't seen it. Then we have The Final Girls. This is another one that just very much fits into that high school slasher. It's like another in the 2020s, so it has that like feel. It's obviously looks very glossy and that compared to some of these real old ones that we're talking about, but again, I feel like it gives camp, it gives girly pop energy very, very highly. Then we have The Roommate. The Roommate is such a good movie, okay? It's thriller, it's not horror, but it's Leighton Meester, and is it Minka Kelly, I think? And they've basically been told they look alike since the dawn of time, like since Gossip Girl started airing. And then they were in this horror movie together, and it's really, really good. It's basically about, she moves into, I think it's college. haven't seen this movie for a while. I need to rewatch it. It's so good. And her roommate becomes obsessed with her. And it's just kind of how that plays out. It's so good. I would say out of this list, the ones I truly recommend the most are The Stepfather and The Roommate. Like, those are genuinely really good movies. Then we have Homecoming. So Homecoming has Jessica Stroup in it again. Let me tell you, she was really in her horror movie bag, and good for her. And it's about her and her boyfriend. They go back to his hometown for Christmas, and his ex is there, and basically she becomes obsessed with him, and so kind of similar to like Roommate kind of vibes. And the ex is played by Misha Barton, so another teen drama icon because she's from The OC. And yeah, again, like, I don't want to like give too much away about this movie, but this one's also really fun. Then for Blake Lively, she's never done a proper horror film, but she did do The Shallows, which it depends if you consider shark attack movies horror films, but it's the only shark attack movie on this list, so I thought I would include it anyway. I think it got like really bad reviews. I don't think people really liked it, but I actually quite liked it. I actually thought it was pretty good. But then also, I think it's 47 Meters Down is another shark movie, and that's really good. Obviously, like I said, we had Prom Night, which had Jessica Stroup in it. And then last but not least, we have House of Wax. And this is, again, a remake. I'm sorry, I haven't seen the original. But I think this is a really, really underrated one. And this has Chad Michael Murray. Love Patrick Wilson, Chad Michael Murray. You will always be famous. So obviously Chad Michael Murray is from One Tree Hill. He was also in Riverdale. And I feel like he's just a teen icon in general, like for being in A Cinderella Story and Freaky Friday. Love that man. Love that man down. And yeah, it's basically about almost like a kind of Madame Tussauds, like wax, model factory. It's not factory, like museum. It's basically like if Madame Tussauds was a horror movie. And yeah, I feel like this one's really underrated. I never see people talk about it, but I think it's really good. I think it's really good. I do. I love it. I think Chad's great in it. So now moving on to TV shows, which is going to be a pretty short list. I just wanted to give some shouts to some ones that I really like, because I feel like it doesn't really give, like, oh, it's Halloween, like, spooky season, let's do a movie marathon, like, TV shows. I don't know, I feel like that doesn't fit the vibe as much, but we're still gonna chat about some of my favorites. So first up, this will come as a surprise to nobody, Chucky. I feel like when they first said that they were turning Chucky into a TV show, I was obviously gagged. I was so excited because new Chucky content, but I also was a bit like, how does this premise and this idea fit into a TV show? But I think they did an amazing job. For me, now this might be controversial to say after I've just made a video being like, these are all the movies I like. I'm a TV girly. Like, at my core, I'm a TV girly. I rarely watch movies, to be honest with you. I feel like horror movies and movies I've already seen that I know I like, that's kind of it. But I just really don't watch movies that often. I'm a TV girly. So yeah, the Chucky series I loved. I thought it was really good, really, really fun. It also has the kid that plays Malcolm in Pretty Little Liars. He's in this, and he's really good in it as well. And it's so funny. Like, Chucky is just, he's such a good character, and it's just, I love it. And I was so upset when it got cancelled. We also have the Scream TV series. So again, you know, because I love TV so much, I think it's fun to take these horror concepts and bring them to TV. I'm really excited about the, like, Friday the 13th show. And yeah, I loved the Scream TV series. I know a lot of people didn't, but I really did. I loved it. I've seen it a few times. I wanted to do like a full like deep dive video on it, but it's literally my favorite things. Teen drama and horror together. It's great. And there's some really great acting in it. Like Willa Fitzgerald, I became obsessed with her after this, and she's done like a few movies since then that people have really loved, and she also, and obviously, because she's just amazing. And she also did another show that I really liked, that got cancelled after one season, but I thought it was really good, and now I can't remember the name of it, but if I remember, I'll Google it and I'll put it here. But yeah, she's the lead in the Scream TV series, and it's a similar kind of thing, you know, trying to figure out who Ghostface is, but it has a bit of a different look, and I don't know, there's just something about it, I really, really like it. And I loved both seasons and the like kind of special they did after. I really wish instead of doing, I've never seen the third season because it's completely separate. And like it's new people and it's a new thing. I've not seen it. I really wish they'd given this cast a third season because I love them. Brooke Maddox, you will always be famous. Always. I love you. Then I feel like you kind of can't talk about horror TV shows without talking about American Horror Story. I am not huge into American Horror Story. I never really have been. I've seen a few seasons. I think Coven is fun. But specifically for this list, I'm actually going with American Horror Story 1984. I think is what it was called. Emma Roberts leads. That is mother. Love her. And it's really fun because it's like Friday the 13th. So it's like summer camp, slasher vibes. And the thing about American Horror Story is I don't care for like the really hypersexual stuff and the really weird and, you know, disturbing, all that kind of stuff. I just don't care for it. I'm here for a good time. And I feel like that is 1984. It's so much fun. The vibes, the aesthetic, the outfits, the music, love it. That is my favorite series of American Horror Story. It's probably also the only season that I would ever rewatch. It's really, really good. Keeping with Emma Roberts, because we love her, Scream Queens. Scream Queens is great. This is the kind of horror film I want, like, John Cena to be in, because it's not really horror. It is in terms of, like, there's kills and there's blood and there's, you know, gore and whatever, but it's fundamentally so hilarious. It is so well written. It's such dry humor. It's so insanely offensive, but not in the way of like a, I don't know, like a male podcast or something like that. It's like, it's not offensive for shock value or just, you know what I mean? Like, it's pure satire and it is so, so good. It's so utterly ridiculous. And they did 2 seasons. For me, you only really need to watch the first season. The second season isn't as good, but the first season is such a moment in time. It is such a like picture of what I think it's 2017 was like. And Chanel Oberlin is, again, such an iconic character, such an iconic mean girl. Then last but not least, obviously we had to talk about Pretty Little Liars, and not the original show, but the sequel spin-off, Original Sin and then Summer School. I have a whole video on this channel ranting about the fact that this show was cancelled because I loved it so much. But it's essentially the same premise as Pretty Little Liars. You know, we have 5 girls and they end up then getting texts from this anonymous person. But instead of it being like A in the hoodie, it's an actual slasher. Like, it's an actual killer going after and killing people right from the jump. It's so much fun. There's so many nods to other horror films, so many nods to like Halloween and Freddy, and like, I love it. I absolutely love it. And I think so many more people should have watched it, and it is so, so good. And I feel like maybe people that like horror didn't watch it because they were like, oh, it's a teen drama, but it's so much more than that. And it's so, so good. The acting's great. The storylines are great. The plots are great. The kills are great. I love it. And then last but not least, we're moving on to, these are just fun. Like, they're not horror, but they are just fun, you know, for Halloween and like spooky season in general. So first up, we have The Craft, and this is like a kind of witchy movie. It's got Neve Campbell in it. Again, the fashion is everything to me. The aesthetic of this movie is everything to me. And then we have Disturbia. This is Shia LaBeouf, and it's basically he's on house arrest and he And like the only thing he can do is kind of look out his window, and he ends up thinking that a crime has been committed at his neighbor's house, but he obviously can't do anything about it or like go over there. That's a really fun thriller. Again, not like gory or anything at all. In terms of more like kid, like stuff that's for kids, but I loved, because it was like Disney Channel, Twitches, incredible. Twitch is incredible, and also low-key genuinely scary, like the shadow, like the darkness that's the villain of this movie genuinely scared me so bad as a kid. But these films are still really good. You have Twitches and you also have Twitches too. In terms of Pretty Little Liars, obviously the Halloween themed episodes, because they're not super gory, but everyone dresses up in Halloween costumes and it's still a bit spooky. It's still super fun. I love to rewatch the Pretty Little Liars Halloween episodes every year. You also have Ravenswood, which is a spin-off from Pretty Little Liars. I have a whole video on my channel about Ravenswood and the plot of it and everything, if you want to just watch that. But I would recommend the series. It's on BBC iPlayer. It's only 10 episodes, I think. But it's more like spooky. Again, it's not gory or anything. It's like ghosts and things like that. But in like the Pretty Little Liars universe, because Caleb from Pretty Little Liars, he's in it. And I think it's a lot of fun, okay? It got really slated, but I really liked it. Then obviously you have The Nightmare Before Christmas. Iconic. I love this movie. I'll watch this movie any time of year. I'll watch it Halloween, I'll watch it at Christmas, I'll watch it at fucking Easter. This movie is, I love it. I love Jack Skellington so much. I love the aesthetic of the movie. I love the way that it's animated. I love the songs. I love everything about it. I love the Fall Out Boy version of What's This. I listen to that all the time. Such a good movie. I would say that Charmed and Buffy would be my next picks in terms of more adjacent to me, like teen drama vibes. So you have Charmed, which is about like teenagers that end up finding out they have like powers, and it's got Holly Marie Combs, who obviously plays Ella Montgomery in Pretty Little Liars, Shannon Doherty, who RIP, love. She was in the original 90210, and then also, you know, had some appearances in the reboot as well. And Buffy is just everything. Like, Buffy the Vampire Slayer is iconic. It's not really we'll just sit down for spooky season to watch it, because there's like 7 seasons. But that's also so 90s, so much fun. Santa Clarita Diet is a sitcom kind of vibe. It's like a comedy that came out, oh my gosh, quite a few years ago now, but it's got Drew Barrymore in it and Timothy Olyphant. I can't remember his last name, but they're both so good in it, and she becomes a zombie basically. It's so funny. I was so shocked when this didn't get renewed again, because I thought it was really, really good. So if you want something that's genuinely not horror at all, really, like just horror like elements in a completely comedic way, that's also really good. And then I feel like, again, a classic. Penn Badgley, XOXO Gossip Girl, love him. And You is like a thriller, but he also like does kill people. And this is just really, really good TV. Then last but not least, my current obsession is Dexter. I had never seen Dexter before. Me and my fiance are watching it for the first time. We're on season 3, so no spoilers. But I'm obsessed. I love Dexter so much. It's so much fun. It's, yeah, like obviously he kills people, so it is bloody. And it's kind of like true crime, like horror. It's not really horror actually at all. It's like true crime, and he does kill people. But it's also like you follow like his like relationship and also how he interacts with people, and so it's like a drama, but it's also really funny. So yeah, Dexter's great. That's my last recommendation of the day is Dexter. So it's literally now dark, and I am going to wrap up this video, but I hope you guys liked it. It's a different kind of thing. I don't obviously talk about movies on here, ever. I always just talk about TV shows, but I thought it would be fun to kind of change it up for spooky season. So I hope you guys liked it, and yeah, let me know in the comments what your favorite horror movies are, or your kind of favorite things in this same vein. I feel like this is just me all over. Like, I say I love horror films, but I love these kinds of horror films. Like, my favorite era of wrestling is like the early to mid 2000s, like kind of ish, like the WWE, like my favorite WWE championship of all time is the Spinner belt and the Divas belt. Like, I'm here for a good time, I'm here for fun. So yeah, let me know if you guys like this kind of, you know, version of horror as well, or if you're more of like classic, like true horror films. What are you guys going to be watching this, you know, spooky season and this Halloween? Let me know. I was thinking about maybe doing this video again with like Christmas movies. But let me know, because this is a very, you know, this change of form for me to be talking about movies instead of TV shows. I don't know how I feel about it. We'll see how this video does. But yeah, thanks again to madbloodmatt for sending me his video for this video. Go over and subscribe to him, and subscribe to me, obviously. Yeah, I also have a Patreon where you guys can go and support this channel. It means so much if you guys go over and do that. I've only just started it, so I'm hoping to put, you know, more content on there. You can find audio versions of my videos on there if you want to like listen to them out and about. There's some like exclusive videos, reactions, things like that. So that would be really great. And you can also follow me on Instagram, and you can follow me on TikTok. And my Pretty Little Lies book is coming out soon. So much exciting stuff going on. And I hope you guys are also excited. So yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. Happy Halloween. I'm gonna post more videos before Halloween, but this is probably the most Halloween centric video I'm gonna be posting this month. So happy Halloween for then. And let me know what you're gonna be for Halloween as well. Okay. Bye.